All right. Second stream of the year. Second Monday after. Happy Monday, everyone. Hope you're doing well. If this is indeed up, I haven't really checked that yet. I guess I should get it on the. Oh, yay. It's working, I think. Um, but hello. How's it going? David, hello. As always, I'm going to tweet this out. But I think everything has worked. Micah, hello. Zero Apex, good day. Yeah, I agree with you, Micah. Honestly, like everyone still kind of complains about the fuel stuff. Not really as much as they used to. Or yesterday, it didn't feel like as much, but um, I thought outside of that, kind of like what I said last night, I still feel the same way. Where it was the same, or it was better than usual with the Super Speedway package. Without the whole fuel saving, I get people have their high emotions about that, but I honestly thought it was a solid race. I really did. And even if you want to get mad at the finish because everyone was wrecking each other, I still thought it was a solid race. Ron Boyd, hello. From Australia. Childers, Queensland, Australia. In between the lanes, hello. I'm sure we'll talk about paint schemes at some point. We can do it right after I say hello to everyone else. Jamie, happy President's Day from Lake Norman, North Carolina. Jamie, we will check the fantasy at some point. I'm sure you had Logano in your lineup too. I had Logano in my lineup, but it did not help much. I'll tell you that much. Ron says SVG starting to work out the ovals. Yep, we will talk about SVG's day here in a bit. I got my little notebook. I should probably get to the front of this. Yeah, there we go. We're not going to do it right now, but we'll get to it eventually. Yeah. I would be lying to say that fuel saving is an issue with the Super Speedway package, but outside of that, it was a pretty good race. Yeah, pretty much agree. Exact same thing. That's exactly how I would say it. Even the fuel saving, it doesn't bother me as much as I feel like it bothers everyone else. At least it looks cool when they're 3 wide. You remember all those Super Speedway races where we watched everyone line up on the top, single file, 1st to 40th, just floor it. And then every once in a while they'd get bored, try to race it out. And then if they crashed, oh my goodness. Remember the 2021 Daytona 500? And the 2021 Daytona 500, that was with the really good Super Speedway package. They put together a really solid race with all those races in that package. And what happened is that they wrecked on lap 15. It was a 15-car pileup, and a bunch of good cars got taken out. And so they said the rest of the day we're not going to do anything. We're going to sit single file. The entire race, even the end of the stages, I think were pretty boring. And finally, at the end of the thing, they started to try again. And on the last lap, when they literally until the last lap, they were single file. And big fireball, big wreck, and that was that. So I hated that. I hated the single file. The fuel saving is annoying, but at least it's multi-laned. That's what I'll say. Bart Simpson didn't drop the flag like Mikey did. Yeah. That was random. I get why, the Fox connection, but it was really random to see a guy dressed up as Bart Simpson waving the flag. When they said that initially, I was terrified that it was going to be some AI nonsense, but thankfully it was not. It was a dude in a Bart Simpson costume mascot thingy. So yeah. Hello, Clausen Z. Hope you're doing well. As I said with Jamie, we'll check the fantasy here in a bit. It will not shock you at all who sucks at fantasy again. It's me. But I did good at the 30. I'm good at the 36 for 36. I just suck at the other. You know what? Let's just do it now. Let's just I hate to say get this out of the way, but we have a fantasy league, guys. We have a fantasy league. We actually have 50 people. I got to say, I'm mighty impressed with everyone who watches and who I know I really pushed the fantasy league this year. And, there's a 36 for 36 league. Yes, rolling on the floor laughing is what our league is called. Jamie came up with that name. Oh, wait, no, it's Racing Only Fans League. So, when we come over here to NASCAR Fantasy Live, holy crap, did I suck. 0 for 4 on the picks. 1 point. My bench was 1 point. Good, not great, and good. And as a result, when we come over here to our league, we have 50 members. I am 41st, and 8 people don't have a entry officially. So I finished third to last. Our defending champion, the worst championship hangover maybe ever. This is our champion from last year, Dunkin' Donuts. Let's go to the top. Tyler Hernandez, 6. Everyone, round of applause for Tyler Hernandez, 6, a Daytona 500 champion, and in a year that the league is bigger than it's ever been. Last year, I think we got up to 37 or 38 by the end of the year. Well, this year we have 50 with 43 actually getting points. At some point, I might get rid of the people I might set a cutoff like Talladega in the spring. If there's still people with 0, unfortunately, I'm going to have to cut you loose. But David Jerry 24 fan, Kirk Memorial Motorsports, Lizard King 430, Grand, I'm assuming that 4 is Grand, Grand Story 54, Cat Ford, Micah MLB 15, Dan the Jets fan, that's our season 1 champion, Crackler, and look at Jamie up there in the top 10, Micah's in the top 10, we got some people who are actually here. They get to see their great results. Because there are so many people in the league, we're not going to read off every name like we did last year. But I will somewhat slowly scroll. If you see yourself, give yourself a round of applause, unless you're like me and you suck. Then give yourself a meme thumbs down and say, do better next week. Even though Atlanta is next week, and it could be the exact same results. I can't wait for COTA when everyone has the same lineup. And I only gain 5 points when I put SVG, Zilich, McDowell, Bell, and Reddick in, just like everyone else. And then one of them crashes or something. I don't know. Man, remember that comeback that Mike had last year? He started week 6, came all the way into third in the points, and then kind of fell off a little bit at the end. That was exciting. Oh, boy. So we have all these non-entries, and some of these are the same from last year. Also, I don't know why this guy, Boosted Cal, has 137 points but is not listed in the points. I don't know what's up with that. I don't control the scoring. I don't control the points. So NASCAR Fantasy app's glitching out. Maybe he joined late and it won't register that till after Atlanta. But, yeah. Now let's get to the thing I'm actually good at. So I suck at the NASCAR Fantasy. A lot of you guys are actually good at it. And then we go over to the 36th, 36th. I'll take it. All right. Leagues, Racing Only Fans League. We got 44 members in this one. That shocked me the most. You guys really wanted to do the 36. But hey, someone used up Reddick this week. This would not have been the week I used up Reddick, but Pork Chop 78 with the win right off the bat. 1 for 1, Pork Chop 78. Pork Chop 78 has a chance to do something they wouldn't even put odds on. I'd put 10 billion to 1 odds on Pork Chop 78 going 36 for 36, but you never know. You never know. Fast on race day. Mean Green Racing. Is that a UNT fan by any chance? North Texas? Kaka? Anyone? No? Okay. I'll get back to the comments after we go through the top 10. Jamie loves Zilichheim. All right. Holding On. That's a clever name. Connor Zill with 2 L's. It's just Unk. Rathofkun 22. Sorry if I pronounced that wrong. Kingswood something. Aaron, and then we got Shane's Lane Racing. And then I'm 11th. I'll take 11th. Everyone else, same thing. Slow scrolling. We have an entire state in our league. Tennessee. The state of Tennessee. Everyone go look at yourself. Go find your name. Give yourself a round of applause or give yourself a mean thumbs down. And once again, with the weird thing, 0 Apex, I don't know why you aren't officially pointed in. If you joined late, maybe that's why. But your 19 points would put you in a tie for 27th. So, and Marty, I guess you're tied for last. And then we got a couple people who forgot to put their entries, including Pound Town. So, yeah. Anyways, back over here. Have you seen the point standings? Yes, we can go to the point standings. I was going to do a video on this just because I thought it was so funny. But, dude, if the chase started today, this used to be my favorite topic of the playoff era, is after Daytona, you'd get such a stupid playoff field. And you could do the same for the chase. If the chase started today, we'd have Zane Smith as the 4 seed. Ricky Stenhouse as the 5 seed. Riley Herbst would be in. Noah Gragson would be in. Riley Herbst and Noah Gragson finished in the 30s in the points last year. Daniel Suarez, his first year of Spire, he'd be in. Josh Berry back in. Kyle Busch makes a triumphant return. But it's more about the people who miss. Look, we have some funny names who would make the chase if the chase started today. But, oh my goodness. Look at the ones who would miss it. William Byron would miss the chase if it started today. Cody Ware would be a bubble driver. He would only miss it by 7 points. Ross Chastain, tough luck, buddy. Ty Gibbs, I guess he's missed it before. SVG, he's never missed the postseason and Cup before, so there you go. Perfect percentage gone. Cindric, he was in there last year. Christopher Bell, he missed it. Man, you would have lost a lot of money. Denny Hamlin, Alex Bowman, Chase Briscoe, whew. Yeah, Micah pointed it out. No Gibbs cars would be in the chase as of today. We got 3 of them in the 30s right now, and the 4th one is in 26th. Whew. Obviously, this will change, okay? Once things even out, once we get to the next super speedway that's not Atlanta, once we get to Talladega, this will be more situated. Top 5 in the points, top 5 in the points, top 5 in the points maybe, top 7. All 3 of these guys, Bell, Hamlin, Briscoe, will be top 7 in the points. Gibbs will probably be top 20 if I had to guess. Chastain will be top 15. Byron will be top 5, probably. And yeah, there we go. But there's your point standings. Obviously, Reddick with the win. All those big, juicy points you get for winning a race now. I mean, look at him up here. Let's see. I wish you could resituate it. NASCAR, change your website back to where I can click on a category and it reshuffles in order. Bubba Wallace has the most laps led this year. I mean, I had so much fun looking at the laps led tracker. That's my favorite statistic in NASCAR. I had so much fun seeing these numbers jump up. And 23 people led a lap on Sunday. A lot of people. Cody Ware led 2 laps. Cody Ware has led laps this season. And, Alex Bowman hasn't. Who else? Who else hasn't led laps? Cody Ware has led laps, and William Byron hasn't. How does that make you feel? Cody Ware has infinity times more. I think that's how the math works. Laps led than William Byron. That is something. So, there you go. Riley Herbst has more top 10s than William Byron, Christopher Bell, and Denny Hamlin combined. All right, enough with the fun nonsense. Where were we? Yes, okay. Martin had pointed out the chase standing, saying Riley Herbst would be in right now. Micah, that's tough, but that's fantasy for you on the super speedways. That's fantasy for me every week, though. Micah, I'm terrible at this thing. Brock says 14th. I guess Brock's 14th. I don't know which league, but hey, 14th is a good start considering we have 50 in one league and almost 50 in the other. That's the top quarter if I had to guesstimate. Which road courses will you choose for SVG and Zillich this year? SVG, I'll go San Diego. Brand new street course that just has his name written all over it. Zillich, I'll go Watkins Glen probably. I would have done Coda, but it's his first road course, and we saw what happened on SVG's first road course last year. So I'll save him for Watkins Glen. If I forget to do it then I'll do it at Sonoma. But I don't know who I'm going to do for the other two road courses. That's where it gets a little bit weird. I'll probably use McDowell on Sonoma. And then, what's the fourth? What's our fourth road course? Coda. Coda's going to be a mystery. I might use up Allmendinger there. We'll see. But that's 2 weeks away. We don't have to get into that right now. I had joined, but it glitched somehow. Didn't find out until after the race. Okay, sorry, Zero Apex. I don't control that, so. Hello, Born Again Briar. I didn't. Well, because Cindric was involved in that first crash, Jamie. Not the first 5-lap crash with, what's his name? With BJ McLeod. How dare I disrespect BJ McLeod? I just blanked on his name for a split second. But no, Cindric was involved. I'm pretty sure he was involved in the Zilich incident, the wreck that was triggered by Zilich. I'm pretty sure Cindric was in that. So when Blaney and Joey were talking about that, because that wreck happened so early, I'm pretty sure. I mean, I don't know when that was said, but that would be my guess. So Chase Elliott has not won a crown jewel. He has come really close in 3 of the 4. The Brickyard, he hasn't really come close, if we're being honest. But the Coke 600, obviously the strategy blunder with 2 laps to go in 2020. The Southern 500, he was leading late and he got wrecked by Truex. And Daytona, he's had 2 close instances. 2021, he was coming to the line, but the caution came out and McDowell was the leader. And then this year's Daytona 500, he was leading for like 3/4 of the final lap and got passed in the last 300 yards or something. So, it sucks for him to lose the crown jewels. He's lost them in such heartbreaking fashion. And you think about it, he's won at all these different types of tracks. He's won a championship. He's won in thrilling fashion. He's won in dominant fashion at different tracks, whether it's Kansas, whether it's the road courses, whether it's Talladega, Atlanta, Texas, the list goes on of places he's won, but none of them are the crown jewels. Micah just threw out a number. I'm going to trust you on that number, Micah. 0 for 38 in crown jewels. That is a tough number. This is a champion of the sport. On the flip side, Jamie, you brought it up. I got to do this to you. Did you know that Chumba Casino in 1 year and 1 race has more crown jewels than Joey Logano and Chase Elliott combined? Ouch. That's right. Joey Logano, 1 crown jewel, the 2015 Daytona 500. Chase Elliott, the same amount of crown jewels as me. Chumba Casino, the 2025 Brickyard 400 and the 2026 Daytona 500. Yeah, that's just a very random statistic, but what a time to join NASCAR, what a time to join 2311, and what a time to sponsor the race cars. It's worked out for him. This year's paint scheme is so much better. It's not a 10 out of 10 or anything. In between the lanes, if you're still here, we're talking about paint schemes. It's not a 10 out of 10, but it is so much better than whatever last year's was. That was a horrendous paint scheme last year, that Chumba Casino paint scheme. This year's, so much better. Let's see here. We're talking about a 36 for 36 pick still. Yeah, so Brad was all pissed off at Riley Herbst. I don't fully get it. Zentrex. So here's the thing. You get wrecked on the last lap of the Daytona 500. Brad thought he had a shot to win. I didn't really fully understand what he was talking about. He was still a pretty far way back, and there was not much time left in that race. I guess he could have technically been side by side with Reddick, but I don't think he would have got there, honestly. He might have finished second. He might have finished third. I don't know. We'll never know. You get wrecked on the last lap, and you're in that lead group for the Daytona 500. I get the frustration, the anger, but I didn't think Brad was going to get there, so I thought that was a little harsh. I mean, Herbst triggered the last crash or whatever, Brad, he's a champion of the sport. He's won a bunch of races. He's a veteran. He's highly respected, but dude, you wrecked a bunch of people early in your career too, I guess. I mean, heck, we could point back. Remember at the beginning of the next gen era, he triggered like every big super speedway wreck. So I don't like, I get why, and I'm not saying that's a reason for him to not be upset. Like, oh, I triggered wrecks before, therefore I can't be mad. That's not a reason. But I'm just saying, like, I don't know. Maybe I'm thinking about it the wrong way. But I get it's the end of the race. It's like minutes after the race happened. You just had a shot at winning the Daytona 500, the one race he hasn't won, and then he's really frustrated in that moment. But I didn't think it was as crazy bad as he made it seem in the moment. But maybe that's just me. So, Justin Allgaier was not clear the second to last car. Yeah, no, I don't think anyone's saying that Justin Allgaier was clear. Justin Allgaier himself took responsibility for that. That was a rough one. Yeah, Justin Allgaier wiped out half the field. That was a tough watch. So he got to lead some laps in the Daytona 500 for Dale Jr., so I guess it's good for him. Yeah, Colonel Sanders. Yes, glad to be back for another season of racing. You nailed it right on the head. Dude, that was so confusing. The ARCA race was solid, but let me tell you, seeing a car, Mini Tyrell's car, was a Chevrolet body with Ram sponsorship. That was extremely confusing. That was a mind-boggling moment. Every time they showed him, and then when he wrecked himself, and they're like, oh, he's in the Ram, or actually he's in the Chevy, but he's sponsored by Ram, and in the truck series, he drives a Ram. My small brain can only handle so much, and when you do all this switching up on me, when it's a Chevy, but it's sponsored by Ram, but he actually drives a Ram in a different series that also has a Chevy team in a different series, my brain hurts. Anyways, I love the playoffs. Haha, no offense, but like the thing you love is gone. That sounded so bad. I don't like the playoffs. No offense, I love the playoffs. You're allowed to have your opinion. I'm just saying I don't love them. The chase is back. I need to get back on point here. So, trying to start beef with Jamie for no reason. Chill. I love the playoffs. What did Jamie do to you? I guess. Okay. Well then, be nice to each other in the comments, I guess. This is my next thing of advice. Spider-Man meet. Yeah, man. In between the lanes. Austin Dillon really wanted to be in that wreck. It's like he went to pit lane to avoid it, but he missed pit lane and he instead hit Briscoe. It was quite the watch from home. I'll say that. Yeah, SVG did lead laps. We'll get to the SVG recap, but what I consider a significant statistic, as I said, it's my favorite statistic, the laps led category. Shane Van Gisbergen, 3 whole laps led. Okay, so how many did he lead on the ovals last year? I think he led like 12. Let me go over to Racing Reference over here. I need this number for my recap. I should have looked this up earlier, but now that you're making me look it up now, this might work out. So thank you, Micah. Shane Van Gisbergen from Auckland, New Zealand, in case you did not know that. He led 312 laps in 2025. On the ovals, he led 2 at Atlanta. We got to scroll a lot before his next oval lap sled. He led 6 at Daytona, so that's 8. He led 3 at Darlington. That's 11. He led 11 laps on the ovals last year, and he's already led about 30-ish%, just under 30% of that already. So, yeah, he's making progress statistically. At this rate, he's going to obliterate that personal record, obviously. There's a lot of time to go, but no, he should be the progression should be that he leads more laps in the Cup Series on the ovals this year. So, yeah, he should blow that number. 11 laps led on the ovals. He should blow that out of the water. He should go to lead 50 this year. Progress each year. Go from 11 to 50 to 75 to 100 to 150 to 200. Like, just keep progressing. So, yes. Okay, let's go over the paint schemes in between the lanes just for you. Also, I meant to point this out at the beginning of the stream. Just the irony. I talked about it the entire video last night. But, dude, NASCAR just in 2311, we're trying to kill each other 2 months ago. And here we are on the homepage of NASCAR.com. And we have NASCAR's first picture you look at is Michael Jordan and Tyler Reddick lifting up the Harley J. Earl trophy. Love a good bit of irony. Thought I'd point that out. Anyways, paint schemes. The Chumba Casino scheme is better. It's not great, but it's better than last year's. I already confessed my love for the Chef Boyardee. The Shell Pencil was the same. The Napa one, I missed the all blue one. The all blue one was good. This one, they're obsessed with whites, and I don't get it. Castrol scheme is cool. Solid scheme. Zane Smith did not change at all. Did not change at all. This was a cool throwback. The throwback to, I want to say, one of David Pearson's Daytona 500 wins for Barry. That was a cool paint scheme. Bubba's Xfinity one is all right. Gregson, same paint scheme. 24 Raptor, it's like an old Exalta scheme that just has Raptor logoing on it. It's better than that ugly green, though, so I'll take it. Basically the same paint scheme, but with a 7 now. Same paint scheme, which is not a good one. Same paint scheme. Spectrum, it was something new, which I appreciated, but it reminded me of the time I had Spectrum Internet. It's not a great thing. Hit or miss, let me tell you. Allmendinger, it was really cool to see the Biffle throwback logo or font. And all the RFK cars had it too, but for the 16 specifically to have the throwback 16 font coloring, that was a really cool, really touching tribute. The Busch Light scheme we already kind of talked about. It's a little bit of a downgrade if you ask me. Eric Jones, same paint scheme. The 71, that was kind of a cool one. You got a bald eagle and an American flag. Really cool paint scheme if you ask me. Same paint scheme on a Chevy. We've seen this paint scheme before. What did John Hunter run? It was same paint scheme, the Dollar Tree one. Same paint scheme. The new-ish Carvana one was pretty decent. That was pretty neat. 97s, I got mixed thoughts because at least the colors pop, but it looks kind of, I don't know, basic, I guess. Same paint scheme. Same-ish paint scheme. Same paint scheme. Oh, finally, a new one. Oh, I love the Austin Dillon Bass Pro Shop scheme. Yes, I do. I think everyone does. It's beautiful. 40 looked good. Same paint scheme. The 48 looked great. And the 78, same paint scheme. So many paint schemes are the exact same, man. Whew. That was a struggle. I don't even know where we were in the comments. Dude, I completely lost track of where we were. So if I missed you, I'm sorry. I got lost in the paint scheme excitement. And Mike is talking about fishes. Okay. Yeah, Klaus, I wish I could help you there. I don't know how New Zealand TV and streaming works, unfortunately. Otherwise, I would help you out, but I can't. So, paint schemes. Yeah, that's one way to put it, in between the lanes. A lot of the paint schemes were rolled over from last year. Like, some of them are just the traditional, like the Hendrick cars, discount tire, Pennzoil, and that's expected. But Monster, same. I guess that's expected too. But then, like, Rush Truck Centers. Remember when they tried to do something different and it was like a test paint scheme and everyone bullied them into, not bullied, but they got them to go back to their normal paint scheme. That was funny. Ty Dillon's paint scheme, the nicotine pouches or whatever, that's the same. Why is that the same? Kyle Busch's paint scheme is also nicotine pouches, and that paint scheme is ugly. Please, for the love of God, change it. It hurts my eyeballs. Oh, man. Anyway, we don't got to go back through this. Martin, thank you. Thank you, Martin. NASTRUCK Night in America came back for the first time since November. I love NASTRUCK Night in America. I love texting people about NASTRUCK Night in America. And then they question my mental sanity. Fair enough. We had a thrilling finish in NASTRUCK Night in America. They were 4 wide coming to the line. Now, at the line, I think they were like 2.5 wide. But they were 4 wide there in the trioval for a split second. It was a thrilling finish. Chandler Smith picks up the win. Chandler Smith is someone I did not talk about in the preseason talk. I said Lane Riggs and Christian Eckes were the guys who were going to battle it out, or they were the guys I was thinking of at the time. Well, Chandler Smith had something to say about that, the teammate of Lane Riggs. Chandler Smith had a really good season last year. Remember, he was very good on the short tracks, which was kind of a surprise because of how good Lane Riggs is traditionally at the short tracks. But Chandler Smith, remember, he won at Bristol and North Wilkesboro, maybe? I can't remember where his second one was, but it was another short track. Well, he opens the year winning on a big track, Super Speedway, put himself in position, got himself a thrilling win. Last second pass, John Hunter Nemechek just let him go on by. John Hunter Nemechek, if you throw that block, if you go like a half lane lower, you either win the race or you get obliterated. There are two very extreme outcomes, but he ends up going back to 5th. So, but man, okay. The Truck Series field was stacked. We had some highly anticipated names. We had Travis Pastrana, Tony Stewart. A lot of people really excited about Cletus McFarland's truck debut. Well, 2 of those 3 names went out in like the first quarter of this race. Cletus McFarland wrecks on like lap 5. Oh, lap 5. Great guess by me. Tony Stewart's out of this thing by lap 39. Where did Travis Pastrana finish? He finished like 15th. Not bad. So we had a lot of big names. And then, of course, Ram. We were just talking about him. Ram, their return to the Truck Series. They get a top 10 with Butterbean. Good for them. Good job by Ram outside of, I guess Tony Stewart wrecking. But 3 in the top 20. Justin Haley, usually such a good super speedway racer. And he did lead 20 laps in this race, but definitely thought he would have finished higher. I don't remember what happened there. But Chandler Smith wins. We got a Ram in the top 10. We have Tony Stewart and Cletus McFarland with the unfortunate finish. And yeah, Carson Hocevar, he had a rough night. He had a rough night. That is one way to put it. So, yeah, that's tough. Is Gio from F1? I don't think so. It's like a pretty Italian sounding name, but I think he's American. I'm pretty sure. Pretty confident. Correct me if I'm wrong. When do you think Ram gets their first win with who? Oh my goodness. Ask me after we go to like a real racetrack. Like, they could win Atlanta next week because that's kind of a super speedway. Kind of. Ish. Not really, if we're being honest. It's a different type of speedway. It's honestly its own category. We're going to talk about that with our Monday picks. See, I don't know how they're going to do on the short tracks. I don't know how they're going to do on the intermediates, which is just a big question mark. So if it happens on a super speedway, I would go Justin Haley because Justin Haley is a great super speedway racer. But if you're making me guess outside of that, Butterbean on a short track would be my next guess. Butterbean at a Bristol, I don't know, at a North Wilkesboro, or let me look up the schedule here for the trucks. If we go down the line, Rockingham, Bristol, IRP. I could see Butterbean winning an IRP or something. So I would say either Butterbean on a short track or Justin Haley on a super speedway. No disrespect to Daniel Dye or whoever they put in the mystery truck, or Minnie Tyrell. I kind of forgot about him. No offense. He won the Ram TV show that I almost said a different name for that would have not have been it. Anyways. Yeah, I'm going to go with that answer. That feels good right now. Daniel Dye wins a race this year. It's possible, technically. Super Speedway maybe, but outside of that, Daniel Dye, I don't know. I got no prediction on Daniel Dye winning, but if I had to pick, I couldn't even narrow it down. I'd have to do a deeper stat dive probably, so... But I guess that could be interesting. Oh, yeah, Stenhouse was in this race, too. I kind of forgot about that. He finished 6th. All right, so who wants to talk about the O'Reilly Auto Parts Series? They just had their first race ever and under the title O'Reilly Auto Parts Series. I know the series already existed as the Xfinity Series, but now they are the O'Reilly Auto Parts Series. Different name of the series, same exact result. Austin Hill is a tremendous super speedway racer. Okay? I'm not trying to... Austin Hill is a tremendous super speedway racer. When he put those tires on and went from like 15th to 1st in the matter of a handful of laps, mad fun to watch, extremely impressive. Like what he can do in the Xfinity car in a super speedway is incredible. But for everyone else just doesn't want to win. I'll straight up say it. Nobody else wants to win these super speedways. They all, on the last lap of the race, they have him. He's a sitting duck. You've got him right where you want him. You back up to the car behind you. He got this big lead. Not big, but a decent enough where you could get a run on him and pass him. But what do? You shuffle the guy out of line. You shuffle Brennan Poole out of the line, and then everyone's like, oh, some of the guys are like, oh, I've never been this far up in the field before. I could get a top 5. And then they just all start scattering, and Austin Hill just starts scooting further and further away and wins without a challenge. It happened the exact same way at Talladega a couple of years ago. Happened the exact same way at Daytona, exact same way at Atlanta. I don't even know the specific races I'm referencing, but I can go find one from each of those races. And it's incredible. The entire O'Reilly field, the last lap, the last half lap, they see Austin Hill out there. They have a perfect chance to win if they just work together, but they say, no, I want a top 5. And some of these guys, I get it. They're with smaller teams. They've never been in this position. This could be their best finish of the season. They don't want to go from 4th to 13th because they pushed someone. But, oh my goodness, can someone just push and at least challenge the guy? At least challenge Austin Hill for the win. Like, he may be good enough that he's going to beat you anyways, but at least make him try. At least make him work for it. It's so frustrating to watch. I want an exciting finish at these super speedways without the wrecks and stuff. But, like, what are we doing? Honestly, I should probably go over to the O'Reilly. Like, Justin Allgaier just gives a terrible shove to Brennan Poole, and then everyone else is just scattering as they come to the line. It's like, dude. Like, he's dominant for a reason, but you could at least try to beat him. There's no rule saying you can't try to beat him. But he gets a near perfect score. The only thing he didn't get was the fastest lap. Leads the most laps, sweeps the stages, started first, finishing first. Yeah. He's in terms of the O'Reilly Auto Parts Series, Austin Hill's generational at these super speedways, but nobody wants to challenge him. So good for them, I guess. So that was a frustrating watch the last couple of laps. Yeah. Oof, we got some Austin Hill haters, I guess. TBD. My travel plans are TBD. That is all I will say on that. If Nick Sanchez didn't get involved in stage 1 crash, he would have gotten top 5. Stage 1? Oh, boy. Sure. I'll go with it. Martin, stage 1, that's asking a lot. So, yeah. What else? We looked at the points. We looked at the fantasy. We got to get to the SVG recap here soon, I guess. Man, time flies when you're having fun. Sorry, I've been 40 minutes on this thing. Jesse Love has 12 cup races this year. Do you mean Corey Heim? Corey Heim has 12. I don't. Okay, I was about to say I didn't see anything. I'm going to do the SVG recap now. We're just going to knock that out. It'll probably be somewhat quick since he wrecked early. Just going to go over these notes real quick. And then... See, it's like 3 pages of notes. So, hello, Ashton. We're about to knock out the SVG recap real quick, so give me a minute. Okay. ...2026 season is officially upon us. The points have been paid in this race. We talked about the Clash a couple weeks ago. Points were not paid in that one. This is the Daytona 500, NASCAR's biggest race. It is our Super Bowl. It's our Bathurst 1000. It's our 24 Hours of Le Mans, like whatever you want to put for it. It is NASCAR's biggest race. This is the biggest possible prize money you can get. It's the biggest trophy, maybe not physically, but it's a pretty big trophy that you get if you win this thing. You are enshrined in the history books if you win the Daytona 500, our biggest race. So Shane Van Gisbergen competing in his second ever Daytona 500. Remember, this year he is in the number 97. Itch. All right. Sorry. Well, it used to be speed weeks, but now it's like speed half a week. It's half a week. So you do qualifying on Wednesday, single car, as you guys have seen before. But then Thursday are the Daytona duels. They are 2 kind of qualifying races. It's more for the open cars to qualify into the race. But then points are also paid in these qualifying races if you finish in the top 10. So we're not really going to go into much detail, but it also sets the starting lineup these duels do. So SVG qualified 37th. Super Speedway qualifying. I wouldn't read too much into it. That's what I'm going to say there. As for the duel. And I guess I should tell you that Daytona is a 4.02 kilometer track. I am all over the place today. But in Duel 1, SVG finished 6th. I think that was the duel that had a bunch of crashes, so he avoided a bunch of crashes, and he ends up finishing 6th. So he got 5 points out of that. So, hey, 5 points. There you go. Out of the duel for Shane Van Gisbergen. And remember, this is like the duels or the field is split in half. So he was 6th out of 22 cars, 23, one of those. And then as a result, the inside lane is set by the duel finishes, or his duel, Duel 1. So because he finished 6th and the front row is already set, he started 13th. So let's get to the main event. Let's get to the race. I've been all over the place. Now we are to the main show. We are to the Daytona 500 on Sunday. Booties. Get your mind out of the gutter. Oh, I know you were all thinking it. No. Goodness, you sick people. Shane Van Gisbergen said, problem with heel booties during the pace laps. Gets in the car, fires up the engine, starts his pace lap, and realizes there is something wrong with the little attachment they put on their shoes. I guess they're called heel booties. I've seen them before. I've never taken a picture of them, but you see them, and they put them on their feet, and then they take them off, and I don't know the full purpose. Something to do with the heat inside of the car. I don't know. But he was having problems with them. So during the pace laps, he had to actually stop on the racetrack, see if he could get them off. And then when he couldn't get them off, he had to call into his team, and his team had to go over to a NASCAR official and say, hey, can we come in the pits and take this out? Or is it going to be an unapproved adjustment and we're going to have to start at the rear? The NASCAR official, I'm assuming, told them, oh, no, you can come in and we'll take them off, or you take them off, and then that's that. You don't have to start at the rear of the field. So that happened. So that was a really, really weird instance where he almost had to start at the rear of the field because his shoe attachment was falling off or something. So a very weird start to the year for Shane Van Gisbergen. So anyways, let's get into this race. Starts 13th and actually runs top 10 for a good chunk of this first stage. Super speedway racing is all about fuel saving. You're running like 60% throttle, trying to save fuel, trying to get to a number. The stage breaks are usually the number, and it's complicated. It's a little bit boring when everyone's running 60% throttle on a track that you can run wide open at any part of the track. The entire lap, you're usually running full throttle, but now they're doing all this fuel saving. So running top 10, like, it's good. It's great for the statistics, and it's good for him to get a feel at the front of the field. But, there was a lot of fuel saving going on. Then late in the stage, he had a moment with William Byron. They finally got to this point where they were actually allowed to race. They were able to go full on, floor it, 100% throttle, actually race. And SVG still in the top 10 at this point. But he did have a moment with William Byron. He gave William Byron a bit of a shove, and the shove went wrong because William Byron shot up the racetrack and hit the wall. No caution. It did not ruin William Byron's day. But after the stage, SVG did get on the radio and say, hey, go apologize to the 24 for me because, he can't, call up William Byron at that moment and say, hey, my bad. So he calls up to his spotter and says, hey, go find the 24, apologize for me, tell him I just hit him at the wrong angle, didn't mean to do that. Well, he ran top 10 most of that stage, but unfortunately the fuel strategy worked out for 12 people, and he was not one of those 12 people. Every single car pitted except for the top 12. The top 12, they had pitted late during a caution early in the stage and had saved a ton of fuel, whereas everyone else had to pit with about 5 to go in the stage, including SVG. So SVG ends up finishing 23rd, so if you factor in the people that did not pit, he would have finished about 11th, but we will never know because he finished 23rd. Describing his car, he said it was really on edge. I think he said turns 3 and 4 were his trouble spots, where he was kind of super loose, super squirrely. But outside of that, he was fine. But really on edge was the quote. This time they pit for tires, and he doesn't really, tires don't matter too much at Daytona, but the track is aging quite a bit, and it made handling actually matter in this race. So that was something different that we haven't seen at Daytona. The surface is 15 years old now, so it's kind of like Atlanta a little bit, but not to the extreme that Atlanta is, which we'll talk about next week. But handling is starting to matter at Daytona, which makes things exciting. So stage 2, he ran mid-pack, and then there was a wreck that he had to avoid triggered by his teammate Connor Zilic. He avoided that wreck, ends up finishing, or not finishing, he ends up restarting 24th. Then around lap 95, he starts moving up. Gets up into the top 10, gets up into the top 5, and then for the first time in his career on lap 101, Shane Van Gisbergen led a lap in the Daytona 500. Look at this. I told you guys last year about significant statistics. Well, one of my favorite statistics is the laps led category. Well, when we come over here, you got to scroll a little bit to get to Shane Van Gisbergen and the points. We will get there, I promise. He has led 3 laps. Last year, he led 11 laps in the entire season on the ovals. Only 11 laps on the ovals. He led 3 at Daytona in the Daytona 500. So, really good start to the year, right? He leads laps at Daytona. It's a really good start to the year. Well, as you can see, 28th in the points. How did he get there? Well, he was in the top 5 for a bit after that for the next 10, 15 laps, and then the inside line started to get some momentum. SVG went from lead to second to 4th to 6th to 8th, and he kind of started to get shuffled back a little bit, as what happens at these super speedways. And then Justin Allgaier decided to throw a block in the middle of, I guess it was technically late in stage 2 of the Daytona 500, barely halfway into this thing, and triggered a massive pileup. SVG was involved, had a couple of flat tires, and had a bunch of damage. He ends up getting lapped twice. After he gets lapped twice, he was only able to get one of those laps back the entire rest of the race. So he basically sat in 30th to 35th the rest of the race, and he finishes 30th. So he leads 3 laps. He finishes a lap down, and yeah, that was an unfortunate ending. But after the race, I should have wrote this down, I guess. But, I got it on the thumbnail saved on my iPod phone. He said it was looking to be a great day. Leading laps, running up front at the Daytona 500, but gets involved in a wreck. And fun fact for you, here we go. Josh Berry was the only driver not to be involved in an accident in the duels or the Daytona 500 this year. So basically, it's just normal Daytona stuff. SVG got the average Daytona experience where he just got wrecked. So everyone gets wrecked. Anyways, that's it for the SVG recap. I got to get back to this live stream. Next week is Atlanta, another track that SVG has led laps on. That is an oval. And then in 2 weeks, the one road course Shane Van Gisbergen did not win at last year, COTA. I love the playoffs. You've actually got to chill in the comments, for real. Like, chill out, dude. Well, that's cool, Jamie. What do we want to go to next? We've hit fantasy. We've hit O'Reilly. We've hit the truck series. We've talked about Cup, obviously. We've talked about the Cup standings. We hit this random stat about Josh Berry. Is it too... I feel like it's too early for Monday picks. Surely there's more to talk about this week. The MJ controversy. If you're talking about the video, yeah, that... man, I gotta be careful how I phrase this. From the angle it was pretty weird looking, but also I'm pretty sure he was just like this with the shirt, because Reddick's son got water dumped all on him, and he just air drying the shirt. Yeah, I was kind of hoping no one else would bring it up either, but okay, that's enough on that. We'll do Monday picks here in a minute. Do I think Stenhouse can make the chase or no? Probably not. Let's be realistic. Probably not. Do I think Suarez will win a race this year? Suarez? Hey, probably not. I'll be realistic. No. I'll just say no. If it happens, applause. Thank you for proving me wrong, Daniel Suarez. But in terms of him winning, I'm just going to be realistic and say no. I would say one of his teammates might with Spire, but Spire has not won a race since 2019. In between him and his teammates, I would not say he is the guy to win a race. But I'm not going to say it's a 0% chance because he is a really solid driver. He's a multi-time Cup winner, so he's not someone we should overlook. Do I kick or ban anyone? I've yet to have to do that, but, if it comes down to it, if I need to, I will. So let it be known, if you push too far, if you say too many bad things, I will kick you out. So all I ask is that you be respectful and you be nice to each other in the comments. And we can all have a good time doing this. But if you're disrespectful, if you start saying bad things, I will not hesitate to kick you out. So, anyways. Yes, okay, there's another couple things I forgot to put in my tabs. So Jimmie Johnson announced this weekend. I don't know why I'm pulling up a separate tab. I'm just going to improv this. There's 2 bits of news we have to talk about. Kyle Larson signed a 5-year extension. That's not really surprising. He's going to retire there. So that's the Kyle Larson news. There you go. Kyle Larson, he's through 2031 at Hendrick, and he's going to retire there probably. So, anyways. Jimmie Johnson's news was a little bit more significant, but it's not earth-shattering. So Jimmie Johnson, is he in the Cup Series points? I guess he's declaring for the Truck Series this year. Okay, sure. Let's go to the Daytona 500 results. That'll do it. Jimmie Johnson, I can't even click on him. Jimmie Johnson, we'll just super zoom in on his name. Jimmie Johnson announced that the 2027 Daytona 500 will be his final Cup Series start. He will run the San Diego race this year and the Daytona 500 next year, and that's it for the 7-time champion. Now, he may dabble. He might do a Truck Series start or an O'Reilly start or go dabble in other motorsports. But as for NASCAR and the Cup Series, next year's Daytona 500 will be it. So, it's, once again, I don't think people are really shocked. I mean, I think the question had been brought up. When is Jimmie Johnson truly going to retire? When is he going to be done Cup racing? Because he's been doing this part-time thing since 2023. But I didn't know what his number was, but I don't know if that's a magic number, like if it's his 700th start or 748th start or something, but good for him. Obviously an illustrious career, 7 championships, a bunch of race wins. That's all I got. So, yeah. We got 2 news topics there we go. Cody Ware's not making the chase, so that's really not a topic. No, Jimmy's not doing the 600 this year. Unless that's going to be a surprise entry, which I don't think it is. Jimmie Johnson seems pretty set on San Diego and Daytona being his last 2 starts. Casey Kane. Martin, I hate to break it to you, but you butchered the spelling of Casey Kane there. Yeah, honestly, the biggest part of the Jimmie Johnson announcement is that he confirmed that Legacy Motor Club has 3 charters next year. But once again, that's not really a surprise because their whole lawsuit with Rickware Racing. So, the announcement of them all was just super poor timing for me, making videos and stuff. So I didn't get a chance to make them. So we covered them now. Yeah. Anyways, let's make Monday picks. Let's go on to the Monday picks. Let's start with the Truck Series. We got another triple header. We have a double header on Saturday. We have NASTRUCK afternoon/morning in America. Then we have O'Reilly Auto Part night in America. Let's look at the Truck Series. And man, it is a stacked field once again. Corey Heim returns to the Truck Series. He will be in a Tricon truck, Robin Hood as the sponsor. Other significant entries will be Kyle Busch in the 7 car, which is sponsored by Hendrick Cars. That is just going to be Kyle Busch in a Spire truck sponsored by Rick Hendrick. It's just, I don't know how to feel about that. It's weird. Going down the list, other significant entries, we have Ty Dillon is the free agent, big name in the Ram truck. I mean, I get the connection, but I'm not going to say anything more. Other significant injuries, Tyler Reef is in the 42. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. returns for the 45, Nice Motorsports. John Hunter Nemechek returns for Halmar Friesen Racing. Carson Hocevar returns to Spire in the 77. And at the ripe young age of 126, is in the 93. So, yeah, that is our Truck Series field. Monday picks, Truck Series. First Monday picks for the trucks this season. Let's hear them. Jamie is going with Heim. Born Again Breyer is going with Daniel Dye. Time to Talk 100 says Tyler Ankrum. Let's see. Who else? Come on. Anyone else? Anyone else? Truck Series. NASTRUCK Afternoon in America. By the way, this year I'm going to start recording, cropping, and posting our Monday picks on Tuesday. So your picks will be out in video form every single week this year. If I remember. I hope I do. I probably will. It took me 2 weeks to post that Avatar clip. I'll do my best. In Between the Lanes says Kyle Busch. Martin says Kyle Busch by a last lap pass specifically. David's going with Justin Haley. We got a wide variety. We got a couple Rams. We got a couple Toyotas. We got a Chevy. And we got a variety of picks in terms of who is picking them or which drivers. Brock says Kyle Busch for the truck win. Sorry. YouTube user I Love the Playoffs says Honeycutt. And Micah says Heim. Anyone else? Anyone else? I used to have this rule that if Kyle Busch was in the Truck Series field, I had to pick him no matter what because he was so dominant. Well, the problem is Kyle Busch in the Truck Series field has not been as certain as a thing as it used to be. However, at Atlanta, it has been. He still wins at Atlanta in this truck, in this format, so I'm going to go Kyle Busch. Otherwise, I would have gone Corey Heim, but Kyle Busch. Kyle Busch. Now, let's go to the O'Reilly Auto Parts Series. I definitely wasn't about to say Xfinity Series. So, Monday picks, Xfinity Series. Significant entries. Let's go down the list. And we have Gio is still in the 19 this week. We have Cody Ware is in the 30 this week. Ross Chastain in the Jordan Anderson 32. Nick Lights in the 42. We have at the ripe young age of 126 in 2 cars, the 74 and the 55. I don't know how is going to manage that, but good luck to And it looks like that is it. There we go. Jamie says Jesse Love. Zero Apex says Allgaier. In Between the Lanes says Austin Hill. Born Again Breyer says Ryan Sieg. Micah says Austin Hill. Easy pick. Surely that won't backfire on you, Micah. David says Austin Hill. Time to Talk 100 says Mayer. Okay. Anyone else? By the way, I'm going to brag on myself here. I'm so proud of this. Look at this elite. By the way, guys, you guys know how bad I am at picks. My Monday picks are terrible. My fantasy league is terrible. Well, look at my Xfinity prediction last week. Look at this. I had to bookmark it. I was so proud of myself. Look at this elite. Not only did I get the winner right, 3rd place and 4th place right. And look how random that is. Okay, that's enough. I'm so proud of that. I will never have a prediction that good the rest of the season. I just had to point that out. Anyways, Martin says Nick Sanchez and Luke Finhouse. I'm assuming that's for O'Reilly and Trucks. Those are your picks. Those are two very random picks. Brock says the 88. So Raja Caruth getting his first win just a couple weeks in. That would be exciting. I'm going Austin Hill, dude. No one knows how to beat Austin Hill. No one knows how to team up on Austin Hill. They don't know what to do in the last lap. Austin Hill's going to have the lead, and they're just going to let him win. He's going to dominate. He's going to drive his way through the field if he has to, but no one's going to challenge him. So Austin Hill is going to win the Xfinity. I should get a jar, and I should have to put a quarter in it every time I say Xfinity this year, and we see at the end of the year how full that jar is. I got a quarter right here, so that's the first contribution. O'Reilly Auto Parts Series. Now to the Cup Series. Let's make some Monday picks for the Cup Series. Significant entries. Also, of course, as always, look at the sponsors. What's your favorite driver going to be sponsored by this week? That's something you need to look at. So, as we go down here to significant entries, there's only 2 of them this week. J.J. Ailey's in the 44. And B.J. McLeod's in the 78. Outside of that, look for your sponsors. Kyle Larson fans, you're going to see the Valvoline car this week. Denny Hamlin fans, you're once again going to see the National Debt Relief. Cole Custer, probably Haas, if I had to guess. Michael McDowell, Blaster. Oh, we went too far. Shane Van Gisbergen, Red Bull. Christopher Bell, DeWalt, the defending winner. Build Submarines for Brad Keselowski. Loves for Todd. Bowman, Ally. We already went over that. But anyways, let's see what these Monday picks are. Born Again Briar says Cindric. Solid pick. That's probably my 36 for 36 pick this week, if I'm being honest. Zero Apex says Hamlin. Time to Talk says Allmendinger. Jamie, the lifelong Logano fan, is betraying Joey Logano and going with his teammate, Ryan Blaney. Wow. And Martin is picking Joey Logano. Jamie. Wow, Jamie, you're just letting this happen. Mike is going to go with Chastain. In Between the Lanes says Austin. In Between the Lanes, are you picking Blaney or Austin Dillon? I think you're picking Blaney, but you're pointing out Austin Dillon with the Morgan & Morgan scheme. Aha, I got you. David says Byron or Kyle Larson. David, I'm going to need a hard pick. I'm going to need Byron, Kyle Larson. You got to pick one of them. Cancel Waffles 2025 says going with Ty Dillon. That's a bold one. In Between the Lanes is indeed going with Ryan Blaney. Do not worry, ladies and gentlemen. What is Ryan Blaney sponsored by this week? Menards and Dutch Boy, okay. David's going with Byron. David has made up his mind. He's going with Byron. So we got a Byron, we got a Hamlin, we got a Cindric, we got an Allmendinger, we've got a Logano, we got a Chastain by Micah. I don't think I said that already. We've got, I already lost count. We got a Byron, we got a Ty Dillon, we've got Blaney's everywhere. We've got Bell back to back. Oh, Time to Talk 100. You trying to make a second pick? No. Time to Talk 100. You only get one pick, and you picked Allmendinger earlier. Brock says Larson. Okay. Jaden asks if I'm watching Supercars. TBD. Probably not every week, but I'll watch every once in a while. Craig says Brad Keselowski. He's a really good super speedway racer. Obviously did really good at Daytona. Anyone else? Any other picks for Atlanta/Echo Park Speedway? Anyone else? All right. I am going to go with Monday pick for Atlanta. Penske's so good here. I don't think they won here last year. Let's see, the spring race was won by Bell. The fall race, the summer race, whenever, was won by Elliott. That's right. Penske's due. I like the Blaney pick. Everyone who picked Blaney, I'm backing you. I think Ryan Blaney gets it. That's also my championship pick. So I'm probably going to pick him more than anyone this year. But I'm going to go with Ryan Blaney. I think Ryan Blaney wins Atlanta/Echo Park Speedway / whatever else you want to call it. So my Monday picks are Kyle Busch, Austin Hill, Ryan Blaney. now looking back at it, probably the most 3 like top of the odds favorites, but I don't know. I feel good about it. Doesn't mean it's going to work, but I feel good about it. So thanks for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed. Those are the Monday picks. I'm going to clip this as a video hopefully every week if I remember to. So, Keytar with the last second pick of Busher. Now it's being cut. Okay. All right, guys. I got to clip the SVG recap. So I'm going to start doing every week. I'm going to start actually putting some clips out throughout the week from Monday, because sometimes in the middle of the week it gets a little bit dead. Rather than banking on news happening, I can actually have some content to post throughout the week. So I'm going to start clipping some of this and actually putting it out as individual videos. So if you do miss the stream, some of the things you'll get to see. And so Monday picks will be a significant one. I'm thinking I'm going to do that Tuesday morning, Tuesday afternoon every week, or if needed, I can push it even to Tuesday night. But as for other things, it's going to be random. Like the Avatar clip you saw earlier, it's going to be random stuff like that. Like I may clip the chase thing where I said, oh, Riley Herbst is in the chase and William Byron isn't. Ha ha ha, what a world. I don't know what else I'll clip. I'll probably go through, find a couple things that I find funny and post them throughout the week. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then any other news we'll just mix in there. So that's the plan for this year, is that I'm going to start clipping things more on like I do with the SVG recap. So yeah, it'll be interesting. So first full Monday pick segment of the year. Finally done, finally down. Really excited about that. Next week, this time right here, we will be talking about COTA. We'll be making picks for COTA. I could already tell you my cut pick for that one. Xfinity. O'Reilly Auto Parts series. I haven't seen the entry list, but if there's 2 people, if one of those 2 people is in it, I know who I'm picking. So I'm actually going to get a cup. And I'm going to get quarters. And every time I say Xfinity instead of O'Reilly, I'm filling up that cup, and at the end of the year, I'll let you know. So that'll be fun. Thank you guys for being here.